after that, we rode a few more rides. We grabbed dinner at Casey's Corner because we love Casey's Corner at Magic Kingdom. And then we were planning on watching the firework and drone show that night, but then it started to rain.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of been a long day, so we decided, and we knew we were going to rope drop the next morning
Yes.
without a doubt. So we decided to call it quits. We walked through the Disneyland Paris Hotel. I'm not sure if you're really supposed to do that if you're not staying there, but
Yeah, we did it anyways.
it was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful. And then we did the 15-minute walk back to Sequoia, and that kind of wrapped up our little like half day at
Yeah.
Disneyland Paris.
Yeah. I think one of the things also the gift shop. There's the gift shop outside of the castle that's like Snow White themed. Or like the
So
cottage,
cool.
like it looks like the cottage. Like I don't know how
Snow
to explain.
White's
You have to
cottage.
look it up. It's really cool. But one thing I'll point out a little bit, I didn't think the merchandise prices were that bad.
Mm-mm.
No, and food prices, like I didn't think it was
Yeah,
that terrible.
all very reasonable.
Just a short thing, especially like every night we would go back to the hotel and we would go into the gift shop and we'd get ourselves a little snack, either like M&Ms, chips, and then like we'd get Sprite or water and something.
Or hot chocolate.
Yeah,
or
and it was not. None of the prices felt outrageous, which was surprising for it, even for it being Disney.
Yeah.
And near Paris, like I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, second day.
So we got up. The park didn't open till 9.
Or
Or 9 was our early entry.
One of the two.
I thought it was kind of late. Like it was not.
It wasn't super.
It wasn't 8 a.m. or anything.
This
like,
is no Disney World, Disneyland early entry. Like,
and honestly, we did not go into rope dropping with a ton of strategy. We knew we were going to probably use it to ride Big Thunder. We woke up maybe around 7 a.m., got ready, and got out the door around 8.
Yeah, we got out pretty fast, and then we walked over. Fun point, if you do that walk through Disney Village, there are a lot of places where you can quickly grab kind of combo meals. I don't know how the best way, they call them prefix. I'm sure we've all heard prefix before, but they're very, very love prefix stuff. You get like a coffee and a croissant together, first base price. Lots of different places all the way down to Disney Village, through Disney Village to be able to get that. So we passed up on that, but I think we got something later when we went to the parks. But then we took pictures.
Oh yeah, we decided, we were like, we're not going to rush to get in line. Like, again, whatever happens, happens. I really wanted some pictures in front of the Disneyland Hotel without like a ton of people in it. So we took our time and took photos, and then we got in line. And this just goes to show that, my biggest takeaway from this trip would be to just listen and respect the cast members, because they are there to help you. There's a ton of people already in line, and we were like, no big deal, like whatever, we'll wait. But they brought us over to a line where nobody was waiting.
We were the first in that line.
Yeah.
We like, the best way I can explain it, if you've been to the best way to explain it, if you've been to Universal Studios in Orlando, when you walk down to go into the park, specifically Universal, not the Islands of Adventure side, there's more ticketing on the other ends, and everyone likes to crowd the middle and no one likes to go to the ends. It was that same thing. Yeah. Everyone was crowding the middle. No one was going to ends, and the cast member was like, please
which I totally get, because everybody wants to make sure they're doing the right thing, so they follow the crowd. But the cast member was like, come over here. There's nobody waiting in these lines. So I was the first person to scan in.
On that side.
On that side.
And that scanning thing, which we didn't even talk about how they scan into the park. So Disneyland California is switching over basically to this now. You saw some of those, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So you scan it, and then it's like a
glass door in front of you that once it accepts your ticket, it opens up.
It just like opens and you go through, and then you keep doing that. And so there's not as many casts there to help,
because you can't walk through until that glass door moves. And so it felt very organized, like one at a time.
Yeah, it was very, very nice, very easy. I think did they scan your face? at Disneyland Paris? I don't remember if they
I
did.
don't remember that. I just remember the wall opening.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know. I think we were just intrigued by the wall.
But it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we were one of the very first people into the parks, and of course, people are running, and it seems like they're all running
Are you talking about
towards.
specifically those two girls?
Yes, if you go back on our reels on Instagram or TikTok, you'll see the people running, and it was kind of wet, and I
and
was
it just
worried they were
rained.
gonna fall and like
Yeah.
get hurt. So they were. I think everyone was heading towards Big Thunder Mountain. Um, a pro tip is there on their main street behind the shops, there are hallways that connect all the way through from the front of the park to the end of Main Street.
On both
So
sides.
on both sides. So you can use those to hide from rain, from heat, from crowds. I don't think a ton of people, not everybody knows about them, at least it seems like. So these people were running from the ticket area all the way through these hallways to get to Adventureland. No, Frontierland,
Yeah.
excuse me, as quickly as possible. So we were like, we were kind of feeling the adrenaline, like, okay, are we supposed to be running? But we didn't. We were like, no, it is we're on Main Street, USA, in Disneyland Paris. So we might not ever come back here. We're walking down Main Street.
We're enjoying it.
And we're enjoying it.
Enjoying it being basically some of the only people there because all the crowds were behind us and everything.
Because we got in early because we were staying on property. So that's another perk of staying.
And I think it's only 30 minutes, like Disney World's is.
So we took our time and we did go on Big Thunder Mountain, and it's my favorite Big Thunder Mountain.
Oh yeah, we'll talk probably a little bit more about why we love it so much on our favorite videos, but
we only waited like 5 minutes. Like there was just a few people in front of us. So
it's the beginning and the end are so good. They're so different, and it's on the middle of the lake. Like there's no way to get there besides going under a tunnel through the water. Like it is so cool. It's beautiful. We took a picture at night because we did. Spoiler, we wrote it again for rope drop.
Yeah.
And like that Big Thunder is just amazing.
And there weren't a ton of rides open for rope drop. I don't remember what the other ones were, but it felt like it was just Big Thunder and then a few others.
I feel like it was just Big Thunder, maybe Hyperspace, maybe Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Which, spoiler, don't ever go on that ride. Absolutely horrible.
At first, I didn't even know what you were talking about. It took me a moment to remember.
Roller coaster I've ever been on.
And then
I'd rather go on Renegade at Valley Fair.
Oh my gosh. Valley Fair is outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. In case you were wondering, we went there last week as a gift, a wedding gift somebody gave us. Anyway, after Big Thunder Mountain, we actually headed back over to the castle because, again, I wanted some pictures with as less people as possible and gorgeous rising sun lighting. And I would say that was worth waking up early for me.
Yeah, I think. And then, I don't know, a lot of the day we rode Hyperspace Mountain, which their Space Mountain is incredible. It is Star Wars themed all the time. But theirs goes upside down, and it's intense. It is very intense. Think of it as like Rock and Roller Coaster at Disney World. That's basically almost exactly kind of close what it is. Though Disneyland Paris does have Rock and Roller Coaster, but it's no longer Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
We grabbed some coffee and a croissant on Main Street at one point, and then we also got a spot for the parade, which the parade comes in between like Fantasyland and their Tomorrowland, which is actually called Discovery Land.
Yeah, Discoveryland.
Yeah. And you can actually queue for the parade in the Small World queue, which I thought was interesting. They allow you to watch it from there.
I think it's just Disneyland Paris cast members they're not as strict. I think they just didn't care.
Then we went on Storybook Canal, which I absolutely loved, but then we almost forgot. This was our only full day there. We had to still go over to the other park, to Walt Disney Studios. So we park hopped, again, very easy, much like Disneyland here in California, and just walked over there. And you and my mom did Tower of Terror. I think that was your very first ride.
Yes, we did Tower of Terror, which is more closer to Disneyland's when it was Tower of Terror than Disney World's. Their Tower of Terror very much gears. We'll have a video where we talk about all the duplicates and kind of what they are, but theirs gears towards more like Sally Sunshine and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. And then I bought they call it Premier Pass. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
Premier Pass. I bought the individual Premier Pass for Crush's coaster because Maddie and her mom didn't want to ride on it.
It was the longest. It was like an 80-minute. So for Disneyland Paris, 80 minutes is, I mean, that's a long wait at any park, but like at Disneyland Paris, we mostly 20 minutes for most rides. Like it just, there weren't long waits. So Casey did that. Me and my mom went and rode Ratatouille. We walked through the little Toy Story area. Casey and my mom rode
the Iron Man roller coaster, which, like I was saying, it was Rock and Roller Coaster. They literally just rethemed it, darkened it, had Captain Marvel and Iron Man follow you, and that's it.
mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah, and then we decided to wrap up on Walt Disney Studios and head back over to Disneyland Paris.
Yes. Yeah, because we wanted to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much construction is happening at that park.
Mm-hmm.
It does not feel like a theme park right now,
Mm-hmm.
which is why they're updating it.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful and excited if we ever get to go back someday to see it all redone. I honestly can't even remember where we ate for lunch and dinner on the second day. Oh, we ate at the Jungle Book. Before we parked up, we ate at the Jungle Book themed restaurant in Adventureland.
Which is Indian food, which I really wanted to have because I love Indian food. And again, it did the job.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot. We were in Adventureland because we rode Pirates, which their Pirates is awesome.
So cool.
But I think in the exit there are these caves.
Oh, it's not the exit. It's kind of like their kind of Tom Sawyer Island type thing where it's like it's in the middle of their Adventureland. When you exit the ride, you can go towards them, but like it is caves.
They're caves, and we were like, "Oh, let's pop through here, see how it was." No, that was not the case. We got lost.
It took us like 20 minutes to get out.
Lost,
like, and like, not.
If we had more time, we like no big deal. We would have I would have liked to explore them more, but no, we were really lost, and it took forever to figure out how to get out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So watch out for the caves if you're short on time.
Yeah, that was a little rough, but we got through. We got out of it, and then.
Where did we eat for dinner?
We ate at Coco.
Oh, that's right.
There was a Mexican food place at Frontierland, which every restaurant at Disneyland Paris, we'll talk about probably at another time, I don't know, but they're all IP themed. So like their Mexican restaurant was Coco themed. Had nothing really else to do with it besides a statue of Miguel out front and then like it being called Coco. Same with like the Jungle Book restaurant. It was named after wasn't it named after the elephants in the Jungle Book?
Yeah.
Like Colonel, what's his name?
I don't know.
Dang it. But yeah, like it just is funny. It's no other theming besides really the name.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's where we ate and it was again just fine.
And we finished out the night. Our goal for the trip was to ride Phantom Manor 5 times because we knew we were gonna love it. So we had already ridden it once the day before. So there was hardly any waits. We rode it 4 times.
I think we might have
maybe
done it
5 times.
I think we did 5 times in a row.
We rode it like 6 or 7 times.
This was not.
How much we loved this attraction.
So good.
And then my mom went and got a spot for the fireworks while me and Casey rode Big Thunder Mountain one more time. Luckily, it was not raining that night.
Nope, it was not. But we'll have another video where we talk about the bads of Disneyland Paris, the bads and the goods. We'll talk about
Yeah, we didn't have the best firework viewing, but honestly, that, is partly our fault because we didn't show up early enough to, make sure we had the best spot because we had other priorities. So
it was the classic case of a really tall person going in front of us.
Yeah, the very last minute.
In the middle of, it wasn't even it was like almost in the, it was like a few minutes into the show.
Yeah.
They decided to move where they were and go right in front of us.
Right. And there's just nothing you can do about that. So me and my mom are both pretty short. We couldn't see
I could
anything.
barely see.
So I hate being those people, but yeah, we left the show early
We
because
did.
it just
It
we
wasn't worth
couldn't
it. And
see anything, and it was just fine. We
it's
got to
no
see the drone show,
the
and
drone
the
show is
drone show
cool.
was very cool. We left during the fireworks show.
Yeah, I would say for the drones, the fireworks show is fine. It's no happily ever after. It's no Disneyland Forever.
Hmm.
It's no Wondrous Journey, which I haven't seen, but I know it's not. It's no. It's not even as good as Reflections, right? Is that Illuminations? Oh my
Illuminations.
goodness, Illuminations, Reflections of Earth. Jeez, friend's gonna kill me on that. But yeah.
But that closed out our last day in Disneyland Paris. We really only had a day and a half. We went back to our hotel room,
Mm-hmm.
and absolutely love Disneyland Paris. I want to go back someday again after they add everything onto
Yeah.
the second park.
I personally might say I like Disneyland Paris more than I like Magic Kingdom.
That's a big deal coming from him to say that.
Yeah, well, we all know Animal Kingdom's my favorite.
Yeah.
So, well, Disneyland is my favorite. But Animal Kingdom's, I will always defend Animal Kingdom. But I don't know, Disneyland Paris. It's got that same feel of Disneyland,
Hmm.
and I don't want to say it's on a grander scale, but everything seems
It's a little more spread
more
out. Is
spread
that why
out.
you feel that
Yeah,
way? Yeah.
because Disneyland California just feels so scrunched together.
Hmm.
Disneyland California utilizes their space so well,
Hmm.
and sometimes it just feels scrunched. But like Disneyland Paris, everything had that same cutesy feel of
Hmm.
Disneyland, but then it was more spread out, and so I
Hmm.
loved that. Walt Disney Studios is not that, but that's okay.
They're gonna make it better.
They will. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I would say Disneyland Paris like is amazing. Everyone should try to go if they can. If you're going to be in Paris, I think it's worth the day trip.
Yeah, if
Just go to
you're
Disneyland
a
Paris.
Disney fan and you want to take a break from, your European vacation to do something that you're really comfortable at, that's how I felt. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a break. I'm like, I'm comfortable here. I know what's happening.
Yeah.
It was a nice break for me in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of the trip. So,
Yeah. No, I would agree. Yeah, it felt, especially after being surrounded in Paris, we we don't know anything. We don't fully know where we're going. We're
never been
relying
there
on our phones so
before.
much. We had I mean I looked at a map of Disneyland Paris. I do research,
Hmm.
but we still rarely use the phone because it's just that familiarity. You're like,
Hmm.
okay, well, Tomorrowland, Discoveryland is on the right, Fantasyland's in front of us.
Hmm.
To the left is Adventureland,
Yeah.
and then Frontierland is close to that. Like it's all the same. Like it was just so easy to figure out and such.
Yeah.
So
I think
yeah.
we have a lot of more thoughts that we could keep going on, but
We could
should
go
we
more on
save those
specifics. Yeah,
for another video?
yeah, we'll save them for another video talking about our favorite rides, our favorite
Hmm.
parts.
The kind of the differences of like what makes it different from an American park, like the
Mm-hmm.
special European touches on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, like, subscribe, all the stuff.
Bye.
Bye.